Hey guys, it's Artifact, and today was the September dev update. And basically, they talked a lot about range combat, so I decided to pull out my archer in Final Fantasy. But you guys don't care about Final Fantasy, you care about Ashes. So, let's get into it. So, they started off with the highlighted question of the month. And the question was, will solo players have the opportunity and socialize? Something of that nature. It wasn't word for word, but it was basically that. And Steven answered that a solo player will have many opportunities to socialize, because the allure of a MMO is to be social. No one told Final Fantasy that. You will want to team up to take on big challenges, and there will be plenty of big challenges. And he talked about the benefits of being a solo player and the benefits of having group content. But as a solo player, you'll be able to quest, hunt, gather, and you'll have higher rewards as a solo player, but the content will be harder. Also, as a solo player, you don't need to share the loot. Next subject was, there's a Ask Me Anything coming up in October. So if you want to participate in that, go ahead and join the Reddit, the Ashes Reddit, and the forums and all that other stuff, and make sure you participate in that. Next is the Content Creator Program, which I'm not interested in because I've heard those things don't like honesty. However, something I do want to make clear is that they said they want people of all sizes. There's no view accommodation that's needed, right? You don't need 1 million views to join it. Whether you're a cosplayer, a vlogger, a blogger, a jogger, a YouTuber, a streamer. So they're accepting applications for that. Next up, they showed off the range combat. So they showed off 2 different bows. They showed off the longbow and the short bow. Basically, the longbow, you have less movability. However, it hits harder. But the short bow, you have more agility, but it hits not as hard. They also showed off some abilities such as the snipe and the rapid fire hit. They also showed something that was pretty cool, where you could charge up your shots for certain abilities, so you could get off a strong hit. I remember Neverwinter having a system like that, and it really worked. I do want to take a second here. So one of the devs was talking, and I was kind of into it. I was listening, and then Steven cut him off to talk about birds. Now, I'm not gonna say I was mad and pissed, but I did kind of roll my eyes. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I kind of just wanted to bring it up. I feel like this is constructive criticism, but I feel like when one of his devs is talking about something like that, it's okay to take a back seat. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I didn't like how he cut off his dev for a stupid bird. Again, that's all constructive criticism. I'm not trying to bash on him or anything, but I think when his devs are talking, he should take a back seat and let his devs finish. They also showed off the Minotaurs a bit, and they look cool. They look badass, and I'm really excited to face some Minotaurs now. I believe that's the first Unreal 5 Minotaur I've seen, and they have so much detail in them. There's also an ability called Airstrike, where it's like get the hell out of dodge maneuver, and I could see that being a real pain if you're PvPing against an archer, especially if you're like melee class, and you're like, get over here, and he's like, nope, jumping. Next, they showed off the reticle side of this. And give me just a second. So then they talked about the reticle, which... Okay, so with tab targeting, you see these guys over here, right? I have to kind of pick and choose who I'm gonna shoot. But with a reticle, I could quickly pick someone off. See right there? I could have just like looked at the hyena and shot him instead of switching. So when you're in like a high octane moment full of bad guys, it's nice that you can just kind of... But with the reticle, I could have just popped them all off, almost like Halo. So my overall thoughts on the Ranger is, I feel like if you're a ganker, PvPer, I think you might want to be a Ranger, honestly. I feel like a Ranger has a lot of ganking potential when some poor doofus is just gathering, minding his own business. You could open up with a very powerful snipe ability, take out a good chunk of his health, and by the time he gets to you, you could just spam all your abilities and take him out before he even has a chance to fight back. He also talked about hard target versus soft target. Basically, hard target is when you have it locked, no matter where it goes, you're always going to hit it. As for a soft target, if he moves out of the AoE or something, there's a possibility to miss. Alpha 2 will not be under NDA, so I can stream it and play it all I want. And you guys can make fun of the gameplay. Even though they did not mention when Alpha 2 is coming. But it will not be under NDA, so streamers can stream, YouTubers can YouTube it. You will not have to make your ammo, which is pretty nice. He talked about the D&D world on how he made his players make his ammo, retrieve their ammo with a 50% chance of retrieving it. He said that's fun on tabletops, but it's not fun in MMOs, and it's just unnecessarily annoying. He does want to look into like poisons and things where you could buff your arrows with something, but you won't have to make your arrows, so that's nice. Some abilities need weapons attached. I guess that makes sense. You don't. You can't shoot if you don't have a bow, so I'll give them that. You can hot swap weapons, but you cannot hot swap armor. Okay, so that was pretty much it for the ranged combat. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. I'm not a ranger type of guy. I'm more of an in-your-face big anime sword go swing. But that being said, I imagine if you're a ranger player in MMOs, you probably got really excited for this. I will say it kind of feels like Neverwinter. That's not a bad thing, but that's the first game that came into my mind. They showed the statues, which might have like some stop motion animation to them, which I'm not gonna lie, if they pulled that off, that'd be really cool. And then they showed off some zombies, because every fantasy MMO needs a zombie. They are pushing for another big hiring push early next year. They also say the state of development is looking good. So now we move on to the Q&A. And I'm looking more at the notes than I am at the screen, so if Zelda's walking into things, sorry. I just picked out the questions that stood out to me. I'm not going to go over every one of them. First off was dual weapons. Only certain weapons can be dual wielded. Another question was about the summoner, whether the summoner will be DPS, support, or tank. And it said it depends on what you summon. So I don't exactly know what that means, but I imagine like if you need a tank at that instant, you use your ability and you summon a tank-like monster, I'm guessing? I don't know, don't quote me on that one. Don't take that one to the Bible. Okay, here was an interesting one. can you decorate ships? So, Steven talked about this one, saying rooms inside your ships would make combat complicated. So, no, you can't, like, have a lot of captain quarters or anything. However, you can decorate, like, the hull of the ship, put on a head plate, sails, and things like that. But as for the ship itself, you can't furnish it. The second one, speaking of ships, was, does weather affect ships? And in a nutshell, yes. The weather of the seas will affect your ships. And then the last question that stood out to me was a question about the caravans. On why do we need, if we're attacking a caravan, why do we need to completely destroy it? And Steven said, mostly for a clear victory. If you destroy the caravan, then you have clearly won that fight. Also, he doesn't need people ninja looting caravans and then running away. So, if you are attacking a caravan, you must clearly destroy it. And that was it. That was September live update. Hey, there's a caravan right there. Speak of the devil, it shall appear. I'm already playing Ashes, guys. But that was the update in a nutshell. Basically what I try to do with these videos is summarize an hour and 20 minutes of info into a quick 15-20 minute video. I don't know how long this one's gonna be. I got a lot of editing to do, but thanks for watching, and Artifact out.